Greetings from Goldsboro State Park, Pennsylvania. Yesterday I was a few miles that way in Tobyhanna State Park. It's a beautiful area. This direction we've got a very large game preserve. It's just almost all one continuous natural area. This is Trump country. A lot of Trump supporters, a lot of Trump-Pence signs hanging up. And yesterday when I was in Tobyhanna Park, a gentleman sat down next to me. It was, fairly lonely place. I was sitting and he sat down and he wanted to talk. He was walking his dog. Very much a hardcore Trump supporter, gun rights advocate, former hunter. And he was telling me about his son. He himself was 63 years old. He has a son who was the valedictorian of his high school and is now attending Princeton University, studying engineering, I believe he said. And he was very much interested in talking. I got the impression he lives alone and just was happy to have someone to talk to. And we talked about a variety of things, and he told me that he's got a number of health problems, but that though he does have health insurance, his deductible is so high. I think he said his deductible is $6,500, that he really doesn't go to the doctor. He avoids going to the doctor as much as possible because he says he can't afford it. Can't afford the deductible. But he had no interest in socialized medicine. But of course, I said why not? And he went on to say, that he's heard about the long wait times in Canada, and I told him that I'd heard that they're not as bad as propaganda would lead us to believe. And furthermore, I said, look at your own wait time. You're waiting forever because you can't afford to go to the doctor, so you don't go. And you just said you have these health problems. Said, we're paying nearly twice as much per person here in the United States, and look at you. You can't go to the doctor. You're paying all this, your employer is paying all this money for your health insurance, and you still feel like you can't go get the care you need. And that's a little bewildering to me, But we had a very civil conversation. He was very interested in talking. We talked on a variety of political subjects that he wanted to talk about. I don't think he runs into too many progressives out here. So, we talked about climate change, and he was really quite fatalistic. He believes that it's a very, very serious problem, but he surprisingly said, well, I'm not going to be here when things really go bad. And I said, yeah, but you have a son. I said, I have children. I'm worried about my children, and if they have children, it's going to be even worse. But he was very nihilistic in a way. Just he felt that he just didn't think it was possible to stop it. He which I can understand. I am very worried about it myself, but he was taking more the tack that it's not even worth trying to do anything because it's impossible. People are not going to stop driving their cars, whatever it's going to be taking, all this carbon that's already in the atmosphere. So he just, it was odd. I thought that was odd, but he does believe it's a problem. I mean, he sees it as an issue, but he doesn't seem to think that anything urgent needs to be done about it, or actually more likely, he doesn't think anything can be done about it. Anyway, we talked about a few other things. What was the other thing that we talked about? Gun control. I mean, he's a gun advocate, and he said, what did he say? He said, I just can't understand these people who go and shoot people. He says, well, what is going on? And I said, well, we have a problem in this country is that it's really hard to go talk to somebody. It's even if you have health insurance, it's really hard to find good psychiatric counseling or treatment of any kind. We have a real problem in this country. And I said, and if you don't have health insurance, forget it. You're never going to be able to talk to anybody. It's going to be really hard to find somebody to talk to. I mean, he heard that. he walked away. I think he felt a little frustrated that he wasn't able to convince me about much of anything. But he, on the other hand, he commented that it was nice to have a civil conversation on some sort of touchy topics. And I said, yeah, well, this isn't Facebook. We're here face to face, and that was that.